Welcome everyone to this second part of program 2. So we have already seen how to calculate this simple interest and compound interest, and the reason we saw that was to see the operators, how to use operators and their precedence. Okay, so how to avoid precedence issues in operators. Okay, now we'll move on to the third and the fourth uh, problem, which is printing a Fibonacci series. Fibonacci series in a single line with tab, okay, and print the following pattern uh, based on the number of rows. Okay, so the number of rows will be given by user, and we'll be printing that many uh, rows and that design. Okay, so let's start with the first one. Okay, so the Fibonacci series. CCI. So, Fibonacci series, as everyone knows, if you don't already, I'll tell you, is something like this. It goes something like this. The first number is always 0, the second number is always 1, and the third number onwards, it is a combination, that is the summation of the first two numbers, the previous two numbers. Now, in this case, previous two numbers are 0 and 1, so it will be 1. Okay. Then the previous two numbers are 1 and 1, so it will be 2. Then the previous two numbers are 1 and 2, so it will be 3. Okay. Then it is the previous two numbers are 2 and 3, so it will be 5. Okay. You see how it advances, right? The summation of 3 and 5 will be 8, and so on. Okay. So this is how Fibonacci series basically uh, it goes further, right? So now you might have implemented it in C, Java. You might not have implemented it, okay? But in any case, let's try to first see what happens. How can we implement this? Okay. So for implementing the Fibonacci series, we basically need three elements. Okay, three variables. All right. Always we need three variables. Okay. And those three variables, one will contain the current value, one will contain the current plus one, that is the next value, and then there is the summation value. Okay, so say for example, we will have a, then say a is equal to 0 because the initial value is always 0. Then b say is equal to 1 because the number that precedes 0 is always 1. Okay, and then we have say the next value. Let's just write it as next, and that will be is equal to a plus b. A plus b. All right, so this is how it will be for as long as we want it, right? So now what do we want? We want to take the number of elements n that the user wants. Okay, so if the user wants say only one element, we'll only print a. If the user wants two elements, we'll print a and b. If the user wants a and b, we'll print a, b, and the next element, and then we'll recalculate and so on. Okay, so let's try that. So first, to have n elements, we have to take input as n elements. Okay, so n equal to input. Okay, I should not have typed it that way. It should be input. Okay, input function, enter the number of elements, right? So that's number of in series. Okay, so how many elements do you want in a series, right? So once the user gives that particular number, we have to convert it into an integer because by default input is always a string. Okay, so we convert that string into an integer. Now after having converted it, we have to store it in a variable. So that variable we will assign it as n. Okay, so always have a habit of coding in this way. Okay, so we take an input, we change it to integer, and then we store it in a variable. Okay, so now the loop has to run that many times. Okay, we'll use the simplest loop. The simplest loop is always for loop. Okay, so for I in range, and then in range we have to give n. All right. So if we want to run it one time, okay, it will run one time. If we have n as 1, it will run one time. If we want to, if based on the number of elements that the user has chosen, the loop will run that many times. Okay. So once we are in the loop, what do we want to do? We want to print that many numbers, right? So which is the number that we want to print? If the user says 0, let's take the value 0, then the loop will not print at all. Yes. If the value is 1, then we want to print. Okay, let's write print in that case. Okay. Now what do we want to print over here if the value is 1? It is A, right? So let's write A over here. Okay, good. Now we do want, let's consider the tabs later. After we have done this, this loop works, right? For this works for n equal to 1. Okay, so n equal to 1, this loop works for n equal to. How about n equal to 2? So when the loop comes for the second time, okay, we haven't changed the value of a. So what will be printed is 0, comma 0, 0 space 0, right? We want 0 space 0, but that is not the value. What do we have to do? We have to update the values of A, B, and next. Okay, so that is what we will do in the next line. Okay, so uh, A, see what we can do is A equal to B, B equal to, sorry, B equal to next, and next equal to A plus plus B. Alright, the same thing that we did outside. Alright, just instead of initializing it to a static value, now we know what we want, right? We want the inner values to be interchanged. Alright, now let's check this for the second time. That is, what if the value is 2, n is 2, right? Okay, so if n is equal to 2, then the loop runs first time. Okay, the value of A becomes 1, B becomes the next, that is 1. Okay, here the value will be 1, right? Value is 1. Okay, so for the next, the value was 1, so now the value of B will become 1. Okay, and then A plus B is 1 plus 1, that is 2. Okay, so this one also works. What if the number of values is 3? Again, in this value, uh, when we come inside, all right, for the third time, what do we print first? We print A. What is A? A is 1, right? A is 1. This is the third time, so we print A is 1. Uh, then we assign B, which is 2, to A. So A becomes 2, B becomes 3, right? And what is next? Next is simply 2 plus 3, which is, sorry, 1 plus 2, which is 3. Okay, so let's try this if it works. And one more thing we wanted is that it should have tabs, right, in a single line with tabs. So let's add those tabs. So end equal to slash t, right? Now, once we are done with this, what do we want? We want just a print statement, not a statement, print function. Okay. Now observe, I have followed indentation very meticulously. Okay. You have to do the same. Indentation is very important in Python. If you missed any of the indentation, you will regret it. Okay, you'll have to change it. Until you change it, you will not get the output. Anyway, so just go to view, get the terminal up. We have the program, save it, and now, okay. So you can see I've already put this in string. Okay, so now when I run it, it will only run the second part, right? So how many numbers do I want? Let's try for one first. It works. Okay, again, 2, it works. It's 0 and 1, right? Okay, let's try for 3. It does 0 1 1. Let's try for 4. And beyond that, if it beyond that, it will basically just work, right? Okay. So beyond that, if I just say 10 elements, all right, 10 elements, it will work. Okay. So if you have tested positive for first 3 elements, it basically means it will work for the other two. Okay. Now there's a catch over here. Okay. You might have seen different implementations of this series itself. That is, uh, some people have a habit of going through the algorithm. That is, if for A, which is a special case, we consider uh, n equal to 0 as a special case, n equal to 1 as another special case, and then for the rest, they write a loop. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay, this is just a shorter version of it. Okay, plus Python by default uh, provides you to do this. Okay, so you have, say, if you want to have multiple uh, declarations, okay, multiple assignments, what you can do is you can assign them in a single line. Okay, so a comma b equal to 0 comma 1. That's the same like saying a equal to 0 and b equal to 1. Okay, so that we can have. Okay, so here, even here, we can have is comma b and comma next, and that won't make any difference. Okay, so once you save it, come over here, clear everything out, run it again, and check for 5 elements, and it works. Okay, so this was regarding the Fibonacci series. Let's quickly check the other one.